So a couple months ago, back in September, Marvel had released a new run for the zombies. It's called Marvel Zombies, Dawn of Decay, and this is issue number 1. Let's get into it. So it starts off with us seeing Groot and Rocket, and they're like in this room. We see Groot messing with something. He has the sniffles, and he's like, I am Groot. And then Rocket is like, no, I can't help. They confiscated everything. So work your weird long finger thingies into whatever crack you can find. Pause. And then Groot's like, I am Groot. Then Rocket's like, you feel wires? Great. Maybe we can open the cell door. Cut one. Anyone. And then Groot ends up getting zapped, and he flies against the wall. Well, Rocket's like, why did you cut that one? Now come on and try again. And then Groot, he groans, and he's like, I am Groot. And then he sniffles again. Well, Rocket's like, and kitty, you blow your nose? You're grossing me out. Now hurry. We gotta break out before those jerks arrive. And then someone's like, those jerks. And Rocket's like, oh no, it's them. So we find out the people he are referring to jerks are the Avengers, and they're at the Wrapped Island prison of New York. And Rocket's like, the Avengers. Hulk starts laughing. Space Skunk call you all jerks. Space Skunk funny. And then Cap is like, General Ross says he caught you breaking in a high security lab. Care to explain yourselves? Rocket's like, well, Cap, you see, old Ross here has a weapon in that lab called Project Terror Laser. You hear that? A terror laser. We were merely trying to get it before someone else could steal it and, use it for like terror and stuff. And Groot's like, I am Groot, while scratching his head. Rocket ends up elbowing him. He's like, no, we did not want the terror laser for ourselves because that would be wrong. Well, Ross is like, it's not named Project Terror Laser. It's Project Terror Laser. Terror as in earth soil. It's a prototype laser that modifies seeds to grow in harsh climates. You try to steal a laser created for growing food for farming. Rocket's like, a laser for farming? Then why didn't you just call it Project Farm Laser? What scientist just had to impress their mommy by choosing a fancy word that no normal person ever uses? Terroir? Yeesh. Hulk starts pointing at Rocket. He's like, Space Skunk steal laser for farmers or old McDonald. Ha 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 ha. Rocket's like, it's not funny, and stop calling me Space Skunk. The Hulk continues to call him Space Skunk. He starts laughing. Ha ha ha. Space Skunk, Space Skunk, Space Skunk. Ha 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 ha. Then we see Hulk turn into Banner. He's like, ha ha ha. Oh man, that's great. What was Hulk laughing at? Did Tony fall down some stairs again? And then Ross is like, Captain, when the Guardians of the Galaxy come to Earth, they're considered an extension of the Avengers. This time they're free to go, but do not let them make the same mistake again. Cap is like, understood, General. Come on, you two. So they end up leaving, and Rocket's like, wait till Quill hears about this. He'll be laughing at me for years. Natasha's like, don't worry, we won't tell him. Rocket's like, really? Then Natasha's like, for the right price. Rocket responds, what? You blackmail one of your own? Huh? I like this lady. We then see General Ross talking to Cap. Ross is like, Captain, if you would just sign for the release, we can forget this whole waste of time ever happened. Cap's like, signed, but your pen's a little leaky, General. Pause. Then the general is like, we spent $1 billion on a prison, but just 49 cents on pens. Rocket then says, don't ask Groot for a hanky cap. He picked up a nasty coat on Sakaar after petting some mangy street flirkin that was, how do I say this delicately, oozing fluids. Groot's like, I am Groot. Then Rocket's like, oh, you think letting it lick your face for an hour was a bad idea? Nah. We then see Thor trying to comfort Groot for his mistakes that he made, but he doesn't really do a good job. He's like, fret not, mighty walking stick, for every great warrior is prone to mistakes, or so I am told. In fact, I've always been curious, just how bad does it feel? A little bad? A lot bad? It's a lot bad, right? Ha, I knew it. Well, friend, I do not envy you right now. Then Cap is like, speaking of mistakes, Groot, can I grab you for a minute? Cap then proceeds to tell Groot, listen, Groot, you like helping people, right? You like being a guardian, a hero? Groot says as usual, I am Groot. He sniffles. Cap is like, good, because we like teaming up with you. We value what you bring. Groot goes, I am Groot. Cap is like, but lately, you've been letting me down. Groot's like, I am Groot? And Cap is like, yes, you have. And then Cap goes, Rocket has too, but I never expect much from him. From you, however, I do. Thor's right about how we all make mistakes, but the difference is that you knew that stealing that laser was wrong. You really need to step it up. It's what heroes do. Groot's like, I am Groot. I am Groot. Cap then goes on to say, I know you are sorry, but I'm just a little disappointed in you. Now let's go, pal. Groot's like, I am Groot. Then he sighs and he does his sniffle. So we then see the Avengers head to the top of the prison, and Scott and Tony are like conversating while they're trying to fix this this jet or whatever it's called. And Tony is like, "Oh, come on, Lang, please." He's like begging. Scott is like, "No, Tony." Natasha's like, "What are you whining about now, Stark?" Then Tony's like, "I'm not whining. I'm just saying that if I could combine the Pym tech and his belt with my suit, then I could grow huge too." Pause. He's like, "I'd have bigger repulsors, a bigger unibeam." And then Scott is like, "A bigger ego? Yeah, no thanks. But hey, what if I had a suit of your armor so I could do all that instead? Huh? How about that?" And then Tony's like, well, no, that wouldn't work if you had my armor because you know what? Never mind. Quinjet's fixed. See you back down on Earth, Lang. So from there, we see Scott setting the jet down like it's a toy airplane, and all the Avengers start to board it, and he shrinks back to his normal size. Well, he's like, "Morning, Groot. Rocket, is it true you tried to steal a terror laser?" Natasha's like, "It was actually a terroir laser used for farming." Scott's like, "Huh? Then why not just call it a farm laser?" Rocket's like, "Because most humans in charge of things are complete idiots. That's why. Now can we please go already?" We then see the jet take off, and Groot is over here looking sick, and he's like, "I am Groot." He does his sniffle. He ends up tapping Cap on his shoulder. Tap, tap. He's like, "I am Groot." Cap is like, "It's okay, Groot. I know you are sorry." Groot's like, "I am Groot. I am Groot. He then ends up sneezing right in Cap's face. Achoo! He's like, gulp. Cap is like, "Groot, that was why don't you just go sit down, huh?" Wiping the snot off his face. Groot is like, "I am Groot. I am Groot. I am Groot." He then ends up smacking himself in the face, knowing that what he did was embarrassing. So Rocket ends up trying to comfort Groot. He's like, don't feel too bad. It was an accident. But if you sneeze in my face, we're gonna have a problem." Then Captain is like, "Whoa. Well, that's weird," knowing something's wrong. Natasha's like, "Feeling alright?" Cap is like, "It's my head. It burns. Fire." He starts to feel all this pain. So we then end up seeing Captain America turn into this zombie-like creature with like these spores on his face. And he has like a green eye and like his shoulder like tears. And Natasha's like, "Cap." He ends up biting her in the neck and she's like, "Ah." Natasha ends up turning into this zombie and she's like, "Urgh." Scott is like, "Cap, what are you doing?" Then Tony's like, "Natasha, are you okay?" She ends up attacking Tony and he's like, "Nope, not okay." She ends up biting him. Grah! Crunch. Thor then says, "You gone mad. Come no farther." He starts to twirl Mjolnir. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Cap is like, grrr. He starts to charge Thor, Banner, Groot, and Rocket. Thor is like, "You leave me no choice." He launches Mjolnir. It flies past Cap. Cap is like, rah! Nat ends up trying to attack Scott. He's like, "Nat, no." We see Mjolnir hit the computer system. Crunch. Bzz. Banner's like, "Everyone stop this." Rocket's like, "Stern words ain't stopping this, Banner," while clutching his blaster. We see Captain America trying to attack Thor. He's like, "Rawr!" Thor's like, "Mjolnir." So he tries to call Mjolnir back, but it's like stuck, but he's able to get it out. Pause. And it flies right by them. Phew. Cap ends up biting Thor in the hand. Chomp. Thor's like, "Ah!" We see that Mjolnir flies right by Banner and Groot. It hits like a wall. It breaks it. Pieces start flying. Groot's like, "I am Groot." Rocket ends up pointing his blaster at the Avengers. And he's like, "Sorry, comrades, but whatever this is, it's gotta end now." Well, Banner's like, "No." He ends up kicking Rocket. Well, Rocket ends up shooting the wall of the jet. And it's like, blam, kaboom. Well, it ends up leaving a hole in the wall. And Rocket's like, "Great idea, Banner. I thought you were supposed to be a genius." And it ends up sucking him out. Pause. Whoosh. Rocket's like, "Whoa." Groot is like, "I am Groot." Rocket then says, hurry, reel me in." We see Groot extend his arm, grabbing Rocket. Chwomp. Banner's talking to the zombified Avengers. He's like, "Guys, please, don't make me bring out the big guy. You will not go easy if you attack him." They start charging at him. Rawr, grah, gah. Banner's like, no. Before the zombies can even get to Banner, an explosion happens. Boom. Shwoom. We see the jet taking a nosedive, and Groot has his arm wrapped around Rocket. Well, everybody inside the jet starts flying around. Wham, whack, thwam. They hitting the ceilings and stuff. Banner hits his head. Wonk. He's like, "Ugh." Groot's like, "Groot." He's struggling to hold on to Rocket. Rocket falls out his arm because his arm snaps. Rocket's like, "Ah." Groot's like, "I am Groot." Banner ends up hitting his face towards the floor. Wham. Banner ends up getting knocked out. Groot is looking at him, and we can see Mjolnir still stuck in the wall. Well, the zombies get up and they're about to attack Banner, and Groot's like, I am Groot. Well, they start trying to attack Banner, and Groot is protecting Banner, and we see Groot get bit by the Tony zombie, and he's like, ka-chunk. Groot ends up getting up and pushing all the zombies off of him. One of the zombies is like, unk. The Tony zombie's like, well, Groot ends up jumping out of the jet, and he lands on a building with Banner in his arms. Ka-thunk! We see that the jet ends up crashing into the ground. Kaboom! It explodes. Groot's like, I am Groot? And then we see that Banner is still knocked out. Well, we find out that 8 hours go by, and Banner finally wakes up, and he's like, Cap? Tony? He's then like, Groot, what happened? Groot's like, I am Groot. Banner's like, whoa. We then find out that New York City is getting overran by these zombies. Banner then says, did the Avengers do this to the whole city? And we see Cap on top of a tank with Natasha right next to him. Cap pulls off the lid to the tank, and he's like, rah. Natasha's like, grah. And the soldiers inside the tank, they're like, ah. Well, Banner's like, yeah, that's what I thought. This is not good. He's like, okay. We can do something. Disinfection. From what we've seen, it transmits through biting, which means the virus incubates mucous membranes, like mouths. That explains why it all started when you sneezed on Cap. Groot's like, I am Groot. Cap is like, yeah, buddy, sorry, but it looks like you and your nasty cold caused this whole mess. It also explains the botanical growth on their skin. Speaking of, no offense, but I'm just gonna cover my face in case you sneeze again. And hey, they bit you too, but you didn't change like the others. Then Banner's like, okay, so patient 0 is asymptomatic from the worst of his own illness, not uncommon. And if the virus in your sneeze caused this, then I can analyze your mucus to maybe create an antidote. But to do that requires a lab that has everything I need, like the one in Avengers Tower, which is way over there, which means we got to get through all those things down there. Banner then figures out a plan. He's like, okay, we can do this, but we got a few problems. First, Banner, I mean me, I'm susceptible to illness and rabid biting, but Hulk's immune to most anything and highly impervious. So since I can't risk getting bitten, I gotta bring him out to protect me until I can make a cure. The downside is that Hulk is easily distracted. He'd rather crush and kill anyone he deems a threat, and that includes the Avengers. He starts pointing at Groot, and he's like, this is where you come in, Groot. You must get Hulk to the Avengers Tower, no matter how wild he gets. You need to control him, okay? Groot's like, I am Groot, I am Groot, I am Groot. Banner's like, we got no choice, pal. If those innocent people come down there and attack Hulk, it could throw him into a rage, which means their death could follow. I know it won't be easy, but you gotta try. Banner then grabs a brick, and he's like, now the fastest way to get the Hulk here is by using my least favorite manner, pain. He slams the brick on his hand. Wham! He's like, ow! Yeah, that'll do. Just remember, Groot. Do not let Hulk smash! Groot's like, I am Groot. And then he does his sniffle. And that is that for this issue. If you would like to see issue number 2, just let me know. But yeah, if you enjoyed it, drop a like, subscribe if you want, and have a good day. And I'll see y'all in the next one. It's been your man Coochie. Peace out.